siyang study. Okay? Okay, let's have 5 more examples of paraphrasing. Example number 1. However, it is important to acknowledge that significant increases in gaming may not always be beneficial and may pose risk for vulnerable individuals, including minors and those affected by and at risk of gaming disorder. So, okay, nabasa natin siya. So, naintindihan natin, halimbawa several times na natin siya nabasa, naintindihan natin na yung gaming pala, although meron siyang benefits, hindi always maganda, di ba? Especially if we're talking about minors. At saka yung mga individual that are already at risk or meron silang senyales na maaari silang makadevelop ng gaming disorder because of their habits in gaming. So, we don't have to, diba? We don't have to reword this gaming disorder. Minors, acceptable din na gamitin mo din siya sa iyong, siyempre, gaming. Huwag na palitan yun, no? So, how will we reword significant increases? Or maybe we can say, prolong. Diba? Prolong gaming. O, damay natin yun. It's not always beneficial. It's not always a good thing. But medyo sounds informal yung not always a good thing. So if you think of a better wording, the better. And may pose risk for vulnerable individuals, including minors, and those affected by or at risk of gaming disorder. So maybe in this part we can say at-risk gamers. Okay? So maybe our finished product can be prolonged gaming may also have negative benefits, as it can lead minors and at-risk gamers to develop gaming disorder. Okay, di ba? Clarity. Klaro naman yung naging paraphrase natin. So you can see here, prolonged gaming, we used it here. Instead of saying may not always be beneficial, we said may also have negative benefits. That cannot be a benefit if it's negative. So wrong ako dun. Negative effects rather. Negative effects, as it can lead minors and at-risk gamers to develop gaming disorder. So malayo na siya dun sa diba? Sa structure ng original text, but it is telling you the same message. Example number 2. It, ibig sabihin yung larong New Horizon, became the best-selling game in the Animal Crossing series after 6 weeks, with 13.4 million units sold. The success is partially attributed to its release during the COVID-19 pandemic, with players seeking a sense of escapism in their self-quarantine at home. So, syempre naman po, escapism, COVID-19, syempre, paano natin yan? I-reword yan. Animal Crossing, New Horizon, syempre yung mga data, you have to faithfully tell them or write them. Okay, so pag binasa natin, di ba, ibig sabihin, nung COVID-19 daw, sobrang bumenta yung larong, di ba, yung Animal Crossing New Horizon. Part siya ng series ng Animal Crossing. Because yung mga players ay gusto mag-escape from their quarantine life somehow. So, yun yung naintindihan natin. So, let's start from a different point, yung ating paraphrase. So, sabihin natin, the need of players to escape from their quarantine life. Gawin natin specific. COVID-19 quarantine life is said to be one of the reason for the record number of sales. of Animal Crossing New Horizon. So maybe it will be better actually if you put it in diba? Yung figure na to in a parenthesis. 13.41 million units sold after or in 6 weeks. Lagay mo dito after nung record number. Bakit siya naging record number? Ito yung data, ito yung facts. Okay? So in our Paraphrase, sinimulan natin siya dito sa part na to. Gumamit tayo ng mga synonyms, diba? Is partially attributed to. Is said to be one of the reason. One of the reason, kasi sabi, partially, diba? Partially attributed. Players seeks a sense of escapism. So, the need of players to escape from their COVID-19 life. Okay, that's one way to do it. Example number 3. Those who chronically delay, or what you call procrastinators, have a high preference for pleasurable activities such as games as distractors from aversive tasks. So definitely ang daming dito, ang daming difficult words, no? Malalaman mo which is diba, I told you to focus on clarity, diba? Baka naman kayo kapag gumagawa kayo ng essay, hawak kayo yung thesaurus, tapos hahanap kayo ng malalalim na words. I don't advise you to do that. Actually, you aim for clarity. So dito naintindihan natin na yung mga procrastinators, they will avoid tasks na ayaw nilang gawin by focusing or using their time on more enjoyable activities na gusto nilang gawin, such as games, di ba? Yun ibig sabihin ng aversive. Parang inaayawan nila. Aversive task. So maybe we can write it like this. Hindi na natin babaguhin yung procrastinator, di ba? Saka syempre yung games. So, gagawin natin. So, procrastinators would rather engage in enjoyable activities such as games than to do tasks that they find unbearable, ayaw nilang gawin, or difficult. Okay? So, pleasurable activities, pleasurable, naging enjoyable. High preference, would rather. Aversive tasks that they find unbearable or difficult. Okay? So, pinayagan ko na yung sarili kong gamitin ulit yung task, activities, di ba? Kasi in the grand scheme of things, these are common words naman din, di ba? Okay, example number 4. Ibig sabihin, gaming is intellectually stimulating and can constantly make the player think or judge certain circumstances. The sheer level of immersion remains unmatched when compared to other mediums. O in-explain dito kung bakit kinoconsider na most immersive medium yung mga games. Siguro as compared with movies, reading, di ba? Or sports. Kasi daw, it can provide constant stimulation, or it can excite your brain. So, after mo ma-understand, actually, it's better if huwag ka muna tumingin dun sa original text. Write it down. Write your own explanation from memory para hindi ka ma-tempt na gayahin yung mga words. Diba? And then, of course, after you have written it, you can then compare with the original text to check if baka na-plagiarize mo siya in some way or another. So, lagyan natin yung subject dito. Gaming, pwede sabihin, is considered the most immersive. So, di ba nagsimula tayo sa dulo? Most immersive medium or way to escape. Ito kasi yung pinag-usapan natin. You can maybe put it in a quotation, or pwedeng hindi din kasi na-introduce naman yung concept ng escapism, as as games can continuously, constantly excite the brain. Okay? So when we paraphrase, no, I'm really aiming for clarity. Without being biased din naman, no. Halimbawa, sinabi ng text na gaming can have positive benefits or is beneficial. Pero kapag excessive siya, it can lead to gaming disorder. Hindi ako pwedeng maging selective, di ba? Hindi ko pwedeng i-paraphrase lang yung part na gaming is said to have beneficial or have positive outcomes or have benefits or gaming is said to benefits players without discussing the other diba, the other side of the equation or of the story. I have to cover both part of the message, diba? Number 5, individuals who play games to get away from their lives or to pretend to be other people seem to be most at risk for becoming part of a vicious cycle. Yung vicious cycle referring to addiction. To get away from their lives. Diba yung definition ng escapism? So definitely we can use escapism here. Or to be other people. Pretend to be other people. Diba referring to sa role-playing games? Role-playing. Addiction. Sabihin natin gamers who are most, yung individuals pinata natin ng gamers para mas maging specific, who are most likely to develop addiction are those who plays to escape or to role play. Okay, that can be a way to do it, to paraphrase it. Okay po?